Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, January the 28th. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, many terminally ill patients are told to get their affairs in order when doctors say there are no options left. But a growing movement says there may still be plenty of medicines that have not yet been approved. Patricia Vallone in Annapolis with more on this issue.
You may have heard of right to die laws, but there's a growing movement called right to try.
Right to try basically says you have a terminally ill patient and they don't have a cure. So it allows somebody to use experimental drugs that are still going through the test phase, and it's past safety, and it allows them that right to use a drug to help them find a cure. For right to die, it's basically a patient who has given up and said, I can't do it anymore, I just want to die, and the drug is administered to them to help them die.
Right to try laws are already in 24 states, including Virginia. At least a dozen other states are currently considering legislation. Frank Burrows said the proposed law could have helped his late daughter.
Almost 15 years ago, I started the Abigail Alliance for Better Access to Developmental Drugs after my daughter died when she couldn't get into a clinical trial for a drug that was showing promise for her type of cancer.
So this bill would allow us to have the access. What it does, it gives the right back to the patient, and it's informed consent, so they know what's happening, they know the situation, the best, worst scenarios, what could possibly happen, and then it's left up to the patient to make that choice if they want to try those drugs, opposed to the government saying, even though you don't have any cure, we're not going to let you try it.
Now, the bill SB 63 is currently before the Senate Finance Committee. Similar legislation is before the House Health Committee. From Annapolis, I'm Patricia Vallone, CTV News.
And the Goldwater Institute is leading the national bipartisan effort to give terminally ill Americans access to investigational medicines.
And also in Annapolis today, State's Attorney Angela Alsobrooks is testifying in support of legislation that would raise the maximum penalty for second-degree murder. Senate Bill 177 was heard before the Judicial Proceedings Committee this afternoon. If passed, it would increase the penalty on second-degree murder from 30 to 40 years.
We're finding more and more the need to have the tools available to properly sentence people who may not have had premeditated murders, but whose murders were heinous and horrible nonetheless, and who are dangerous individuals.
Now, in Maryland, someone convicted of a violent crime must serve 50% of their sentence before they are eligible for parole.
And Prince George's public schools will remain closed for a 6th day tomorrow. Snow removal at the district's 209 buildings is complete, as you can see here at Wise High School, but administrators are concerned about neighborhood sidewalks and walkways that have not been shoveled, thus forcing kids to walk on the streets. And while students may have enjoyed another day off, it puts the district in a bit of a quandary.
We had 4 built-in snow days, and Thursday today makes the 5th one. Right now, it's too early to make a determination. We want to wait till we get through the winter months, and then, of course, we can apply for a waiver from the state, or we'll see what we have to do as far as tacking on days to the end of the school year.
There are more than 128,000 public school students in Prince George's County.
Meantime, businesses throughout Prince George's are still recovering from the effects of Winter Storm Jonas at the High Bridge Shopping Center in Bowie. Many stores are open today. CTV spoke to shop owners who decided to close early last Friday and remain shuttered over the weekend.
A lot of our business is done on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday actually. So we lost both of those.
I started to pick up maybe like on yesterday. Monday and Tuesday is still slow. The roads, the sidewalks are horrible.
All of the kids that are out of school and also, and work, so a lot of people came up.
Meantime, cleanup continues nearby at the intersection of Annapolis and Hillmead Roads. Officials say crews started plowing local roads around 9:30 this morning. The work created rush hour backups for commuters and for those who got stuck behind those slow-moving vehicles as they pushed mounds of the white stuff out of the lanes and off to the side of the street.
An elderly woman is dead after wandering away from her home in Hyattsville. Police say the body of 84-year-old Orinda Nelson was discovered in a neighbor's backyard on Tuesday after she was reported missing the night before. Now, according to family members, Nelson suffered from Alzheimer's and had wandered away from her home more than a dozen times. An autopsy report ruled her death dementia complicated by hypothermia. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Sonia Shrivastava.